So hello, we're here with Jean-Louis Schlesser. How are you doing, Jean-Louis? Very nice to meet you.
Yes, thank you. We just come back from Lago di Garda in Italy to make the
Mhm.
presentation of Africa race. Because I'm organizing a race through Africa. So we had the presentation yesterday.
All right, very nice. And so you obviously have a very long trajectory, very long history in motorsport. How did you get introduced to this whole world?
So I start to make because we had no money at the time. So I just do school racing cars to get a car, and then I won one car and start racing like that. I had some help from some people outside, small sponsors, and I start racing like that. Yes, for many years I was suffering because I'm a tall guy and quite heavy. So it was hard, and at that time we was not realizing that the weight is very important. So now we know it, of course.
All right, and I mean, then you started doing racing, and you did the jump to F1. How did that come about?
Uh, it was a long story. I was racing a lot with small teams, and then one time I was racing with Maurer in in Spa, and then there was Patrick Head was watching the race, and then after the race we was talking. He say maybe you can come to make some tests with us for Williams to do some tests, and then I start to do testing with the Formula One, and then I was called by Williams for to replace Mansell in Monza, and then I had this crash, of course, with Ayrton. But unfortunately, it was not. It was maybe my fault if I say that I should brake earlier to give him the wave, but he was close to my gearbox, and I had no choice. If I lift off the throttle, maybe he will enter on my back. So it was just bad luck for this race. That's it.
All right, and I mean, 1983, you did France, right? With RAM March.
Yes, I did the race of champion in Branzach, and I finished, I think, sixth there. Yeah, race of champion.
But I mean, in the Formula One World Championship. I mean, in France, in Paul Ricard.
Yeah, yes, in Polica. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, in Polica, it was myself and Salazar. We were not qualified both. The car was not fast enough. In the straight, we was achieving the same speed like with my touring car, 250, something like that. Yeah,
And
that was a problem.
yeah, sorry, go on.
That was the problem. The car was not fast enough.
And well, I mean, you compare those F1s to the F1s of nowadays. I don't I don't think you've tried the F1s of nowadays, but with the new regulations and everything, how do you think they would compare?
The car at the time, was much bigger difference between those teams. We had the car was aspirate. We had an aspirate engine. I mean, everybody was like that, but was a huge difference between teams with the car. And compared to today the electronics and let's say at the time we had no assistance on the power, no assistance on the braking, no assistance steering. Today everything is assist. Even when I was driving in sports car, we had not all that sort of things.
All right, and I mean, then you go to the 24 hours Le Mans.
Yeah.
How different is that? I mean, you won in your class as well. That's congratulations for that. And how
Yeah.
different is driving a Le Mans car to driving F1?
Yeah, let's say with Le Mans car, with the Hondo, we had to take care about everything, about the engine, about the, the gearbox. We have to be very conservative on the curve, not hitting the curve because we was afraid to break the car. The car was very thin, so in Le Mans you have to be more conservative than in F1 or F2 or sports car in general, because you have to be careful of the longevity. You have to be safe on the car,
All right. And going back to F1, was there any other chance that you could have driven maybe another race with Formula One?
At that time I was an official driver for Mercedes. I was driving first for Jaguar, for Mercedes, and I was happy with that. I was a paid driver, but in Formula One, most of them was paying. Like now, many drivers bring some budget to be able to drive. So it was in the past a bit the same. You must be lucky to get a drive without paying. So that was my case in sports car. So, and I had a lot of success in sports cars also. I think that was the best choice at the time, especially with my style of, my body. I'm 80 kilo and 180. So in Formula One, at the time I was a strong guy,
And now, out of all of the cars, you've driven so many cars, but which one would you say is your one favorite?
Yes, let's say the best car I ever drove, I think it was a C11, the Mercedes C11. Yeah, that was a very fantastic car, Of course, we had no assistance on braking, no assistance on power steering, and also no assistance for the wheel spin, Everything was in the throttle. You have to drive the car. And those cars, of course, it was physically hard to drive, but we must be trained for that. So I was trained, I was in good shape, and also it was very hot inside, but the car was very nice, quite predictable, And even when we was in qualif with more than 900 horsepower, And we had a great battle with all those guys, with the Porsche, don't forget, at that time was about 14 or 15 manufacturers, many cars, many different cars. We had the Group C2, Group C1. Also, I enjoyed a lot. I did the German Championship, which I won, in Group C. That was, I can't remember the name of this championship. Super Cup, yeah. It was a German Super Cup. So it was quite nice, yeah.
All right, and you've also raced against many, many great drivers. Which one would you say is the best driver you've ever driven against? The most difficult?
Well, I had the chance to be together at that time with Schumacher, Frenzen, Van Linger. I think that was great. And also Baldi was a very nice, and also Jochen, which was my co-pilot. So I had the chance to drive with Alan Jones in Brands Hatch also, with Eddie Cheever, Leon Lambers, and Brundle, and many others. So the best one, I can't say the best one, maybe the fastest was Michael or Frenzen, at the time. But anyway, at that time I was two-time world champion, and it was quite nice. I was winning everything, fastest all the time. That's good. That was good. Yeah.
Even Michael, as a youngster at the time, he was quite young.
Yeah, he was 22. Yeah, when I was world champion. Yeah, but 22 today is normal,
22 is my age. So.
Yeah. 22 at the time was young, but he was already very fast,
Mm-hmm. And how would you describe your personal racing style?
I think I could drive nearly everything. I could drive. I was not a specialist of one thing, but I could drive any car because I won in different discipline. So I was fast in every car, so I had nothing special, but I could achieve good race in many different cars. Yeah. So my style was maybe, I don't know if we could say style. I was quite serious. I don't crash too much in my career. So luckily, because at the time when we crash, we had not the security of today, of course. Yeah.
And what's the most enjoyable track you've been at? The best circuit?
I think my favorite was Suzuka, because I had a hat trick there. I won 3 times in a row there in sports car. Nürburgring was very nice also. Spa also was very, very nice. In fact, the first race I won for Mercedes, it's funny because it was in your country. It was in Jerez de la Frontera.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
It was very hard race, very, very hard because it was so hot there. But we won the race, yeah. And Jarama also I won the race, yes. But that was a year out. How many race course is nice. So Dijon in France is very nice. Yeah.
All right. And what's the best lesson you've learned from motorsport? Things you've learned?
The best lesson?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I say to my son. Never give up, This is a very important thing. If you see that you are progressing a little bit all the time, you have to be consistent. Never give up. Do some sport and be good in the lifestyle, You have to be careful. Don't look what the other do, and especially going out and this. You have to be really serious if you want to be a champion.
And if you could change anything in motorsport, what would it be?
It would be, I would be very strict on expense for the team, because I think the cost for the young people to drive is too high, far too high, I'm completely in phase with Max Verstappen about this. He say the price for a young driver to go up to any championship, even LMDH or Formula One, is too high. They have to spend so much money. This is not fair. Especially the karting is very expensive. When you see today the karting is so expensive, this is so crazy,
Yeah, it's true. And you said you gave advice to your son, right? Your son is a racing driver,
Yeah.
Louis?
Yeah.
All right. And what other advice do you give to your son? Like,
Well, I say be serious and try to be, if you want to be a racing driver, you have to be in your head a racing driver. Don't be disturbed by small things like I don't know, all this social media and all that shit, So you have to be really careful. Concentrate on your job and concentrate on what you want to do.
and you mentioned before the danger in the racing, which has thankfully got better. How did the driver back in the 80s, back in the 90s, how did they deal with the danger that came with being a racing driver?
I think at that time we was not thinking about accident or what. Otherwise it's better to not drive. We couldn't do a race. In my opinion, a driver who thinks he would have an accident would be not a good driver. And in my years, 1 year we had 7 guys who died nearly in front of me. Great driver like Winkelhock, like Beloff and all that. So each time you go in the car, not when you go in the car, but during the week you can think, okay, it's quite dangerous, but for me it was never an obstacle. If you start to be thinking about this, stop racing. It's better.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've won also. I mean, the Rally Dakar. That's totally off road as well. How different is that to racing on road?
Let's say we can compare to a bit to Le Mans. You know, you have to be careful, think about the car, and you have to be. The most important is to be a good technician. If you are a good technician, you can win Dakar, and also you have to be to make a good pair with your co-pilot. You know, this is very important. To believe on your co-pilot. Sometimes it's quite hard, but this is the case. You have to be good also in navigation. If you are good in navigation, this is an advantage. You know, I'm a flying pilot, a plane and helicopter, so I couldn't understand better, I think, than the others, and the cape and all that, you know, how to drive and to make navigation. This is the most important, in my opinion.
How similar do you think driving airplanes and driving helicopters is to driving cars?
Well, it's a little bit the same. Of course, you have to put everything in line, you know, and to make all the situation perfect before starting the race, you know. Before starting the plane or before starting the helicopter, you have to think what will be all the situation and all the day long. And in the race, it's the same. You have to prepare yourself and to prepare the navigation, prepare the car, prepare everything to be sure that you will not suffer about something disturbing you for the race.
Right. And I mean, Paris Dakar, it has many anecdotes. It's a great race. What would you say is one anecdote that stood out for you?
For me, the first one of the first year I did it, we had a trouble with the car and I had to drive 140 kilometers backwards, you know, because we had no gears in front, and I stopped the race and I had to drive 140 kilometers backwards.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And I mean, in the Dakar, you drove your own buggies. Like,
Yeah.
how did that compare to driving someone else's car? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was driving for Mitsubishi in the beginning. I was official driver for them. But the car in that time was a 4x4. It was too hard to drive. I mean, not too hard as a driver, but too harsh. And then I decided to build a two-wheel drive because I thought more travel suspension and easier to drive. I mean, for the physical purpose, I'm saying. So I built those two-wheel drive, and then take time, but finally I won with those cars many races. So it was good idea, good choice.
And what keeps you passionate about motorsports, even nowadays in 2026?
I'm passionate about what? About my passion for me is Marc Marquez.
Marc Marquez.
Yeah.
He's a great rider. So you also like motorbikes as well?
So much you cannot imagine. Yeah. For me, a great achievement would be to have a dinner or a meal with him and talk about, because I had a lot of respect about himself. I was world champion, so I know exactly what he's doing, and not in motorbike, of course, but I appreciate maybe much more than anybody the way how we make it, and his suffering and all that. You know, is a really fantastic champion. Yeah, unbelievable.
Do you think he can win the championship this year as well? Can go back to back?
I hope so. I cross my finger. Yeah, I want he win.
He's
Super éthique, oui.
doing Assen this weekend, and yeah, in theory, He's on a good roll, so yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I hope he will not take too much risk, and because at the moment, he's not. That's what they say. I'm not in his skin, but maybe he's suffering still about his shoulder. I don't know about this, but I hope for him. Take it easy this week. Then he had more vacation because they stop for maybe 1 month. Then he can recover better, And I hope he will win the championship. Really.
All right. So, and I hope you get that dinner with Mark as well. And if you ever do invite me as well.
Yes. Yes.
So, and about
I was, a small story. One time, I had to land with my plane because we had the very bad weather, and I landed in Cervera. It was so funny. Then we went in the town with the taxi, and then we went in the restaurant, and then I find a small restaurant, and then I find that this place was a place for where's Mark Bourne.
Yeah.
And I was with my friend. I explained my friend. He don't know about racing, and so I explained to him all the story and all the family and all this. Also his brother and all that. I explained all this. I had a lot of admiration about Mark, for Mark. Yes.
That's amazing. Amazing to hear. And on four wheels nowadays, how are you seeing F1 in 2026?
Yeah, it's a shame that electronics dominate the race. This is my concern. I think we should have less electronics for the race. This is a problem. And in my opinion, the easiest way, because they have this regulation, they should never go over 40% of electric. In that case, always the engine will work all the way. So, when you say I want to put 50% electric, 50%, this is a sport. So we should not be involved in this. This is a complete bullshit. To say we make ecology with that. What is this? This is racing, and that's it. Forget it. If they want to have no problem with the ecology, they can stop everything, also the race, but not to say we make half electric and half thermic and all that shit. This is completely. I think we are going the wrong way.
All right. Do you think V8s are gonna make a comeback?
Well, I don't believe it too much because that's what they say, but I don't believe it too much because first, many manufacturers to be good with their board, they sell the idea that the car driving with the ecological mind, So for that reason, for example, Audi came in Formula One because of electric, for example, and also maybe now the excuse of Mercedes is like that. But in my opinion, and maybe they would try to get BYD or something like that. But the dream would be a V8 or a V10, even better. But I don't believe it too much.
All right, and we're going back to your time in F1. You drove for REM, and then obviously 5 years later, but for Williams. Those were very two different cars. One was a back marker, and one was one of the best cars on the grid. What would you say was like the main differences between the two?
But the Williams was using at the time, I think it was a V10 Judd.
V8.
It was V8 Judd or the V10?
Well, it was V8. It was V8, yeah.
It was a V8, yeah. So it was a good engine, it's okay. But compared to the Ram with the Cosworth, I think it was 200 horsepower difference. and the downforce was completely different. And you know, I was developing the Williams before with hydraulic suspension. And at that time, why Mansell was not driving? I think it was because he had he had a problem with the hand, but it was wrong. The car was really very hard to drive at this time, very very hard, because the suspension was not with springs. It was a piece of metal. I don't know the term in English, but and the car in the curves was going suddenly sideways, you know, when you was on load. So the car was not so easy to drive, but I was quite happy in Monza because I was not driving for nearly 1 year the car, because I was with Mercedes. And first session, I was 11 on the grid. And don't forget, in that time, was 36 car. Was about 10 or 12 or 14 car, I don't remember exactly, was going out.
Yeah.
The qualification was limited at 24, 26 car, I don't know exactly. And we was 36, so I was very happy to be 11, you know. And then the day after, on the second practice, after two laps, I crashed. You know, not crash, but I make a spin. So I stopped there, and I had no chance to drive. And finally, I finished 22 with the time of the day before. So I was qualified. I was thinking I would be not qualified again. So it's like this. But the difference on the car, the Williams was a nice car, very nice car. Different, of course.
Was Frank Williams a bit? He has quite a reputation for being a bit ruthless. Is that true?
He was very rude. Frank, when he contacted me to drive the car, he called me and he say, "Ça va, Jean-Louis?" Yes, I was on the boat in vacation. He say, "Well, can you come to Monza for driving?" It was Thursday, you know. So I was in south of France, the sea. I say, "Tomorrow?" He say, yes, you have to be there tomorrow. I say, and he said to me, you know, you have to answer very quickly. For me, I have a list of 10 pilots who want to drive the car, you know. But I phone you because you are Patrick Head, like you in the car. He wants you in the car. He say, if you don't want, it's not a problem. Very rude, you know. And he say, you have to accept. I will give you that money, and that's it. It was like this, really unbelievable. But It was a nice person, you know.
He was nice.
And Patrick also, very very nice. Yes, Patrick and Frank. Frank was a great friend. Yeah, it was a great person.
All right, glad to hear that, despite him being a little bit too expressive or maybe too direct.
Frank?
Yeah, I mean, from what you told me, at least.
Yeah, he was direct. Yeah, exactly. I like it, in fact. Yeah.
All right, and so I mean, you've done so many races throughout the years. What would you say was your best race?
My best race, maybe I had two, but one of my best race was Suzuka. I started the race. We had a leak on the petrol tank. We had to bring back the car at the stand, the pits. We repair, and then when I start last. And the track was damp. So I drive every lap from the last position, and I finish my stint. I was leading the race. Then I give the car to I think it was Jochen. I can't remember exactly who was with me, but I give back the car, lead in the lead. That was maybe the best one. Yeah. And also in Nürburgring we had a little bit the same. We had 1,000 kilometers with rain. It was a hard race, but we won it, you know. So and Dijon also was nice. No, many good race I won. It was nice. In Mexico also. Yeah.
All right. And I mean, before you came to F1, you did the French Championship, and you actually shared it along Alain Prost. What was that like?
Yeah, in Formula 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was completely, we had a complete different car. He was driving the car with ELF support and Renault engine, and me, I was as a private bringing the car on the trailer, you know. But Alain was a great champion. But don't forget, at that time in Formula 3, we had no weight for the driver and the car. So Alain was about 30 kilo lighter than me, you know. So he was a great driver, very fast, but always a good advantage on the weight. Yeah.
All right. And so, how did you decide to go from Formula cars to sports cars initially?
Well, one time I had the chance to drive for Rondo in Le Mans, and then you know we finished second, and then we won the Andes Energetic. The same. Somebody called me maybe 15 days before the race. They say, "Look, do you want to drive? We make a young driver team. Do you want to drive it?" I say yes. Okay, no problem. So I went there. And then it started like this, and I drive for Fitzpatrick with Johansson also. I drive with Stuck. So it was like this, just by chance. And then my chance to be world champion, it was Max Welti who gave this to me. He pushed very strong to Peter Sauber, and I drove for this Mercedes, the Sauber Mercedes. And that's how it started, the way how it started. And also I drove some years with Walkinshaw in the Jaguar. I developed the Jaguar. Yeah. So it started like this, in fact.
All right. And back in the Monaco 2013, you actually met with Ron Dennis. And what was he like? Just in general.
Monaco?
In 2013.
Yes.
You met with Ron Dennis, and you talked
Yes,
about
Ron.
Monza.
Yeah, Ron. He said, "Hey, the guy who stopped my dream to win 16 race out of 16." Yeah, I know. I remember. But it's okay, you know. This is good because it's still a challenge for a team to win all the races. This maybe can happen with Mercedes, huh?
Well, not this year, but
Yeah. I know because the last race, yes, Hamilton won it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
but I mean,
But
yeah, Ron. You've met him. How is he in person? Good guy like Frank? Ron Dennis, is he like a good guy like Frank?
I think his attitude, when you look at him like this, he make it like he's strong, but he's a nice person. I think he's also a nice person. Yes, they are both people who start from nothing. You know, don't forget that they are humble in their mind. You know, and different approach, but they are in fact strong people. They managed to have a good team, both of them. So, yeah.
All right. And any other good anecdotes you can tell from the F1 paddock?
From the F1,
Yeah.
well, I think in the past, the F1 was not so serious like today, you know. So maybe today is better, of course, because but in that time people could do what they want nearly, you know. So maybe, but the spectator don't know that. So it changed nothing at the end of the day. But maybe for the people it was better in the F1 at that time. I like very much Eccleston. When he saw me, all the time when he see me at the time, he say, Jean-Louis, tell everybody I'm very good person. Bernie, it's a good person, really good person. Yes.
Like Bernie?
Yeah, very good person. Very nice.
And right now you're kind of coaching your son, right? You said so. What's his future looking like?
Yes, I coach him. Yeah. Now he's doing the French Championship of the Caterham, which is very hard because they have about 30 cars on the starting grid, and with a lot of experienced driver, and all the cars are the same, and they fight a lot. This is good to learn or to learn how to drive and how to fight. This is the most important. Yeah.
And was he planning on doing maybe next year in the few years?
First you have to win some races, and so far he makes some fast lap record and all that during race, but he don't win enough race in my opinion to change. So maybe we make another year, or we make a small sports car, Funio, or if we have chance, if we make really good and we find a sponsor, we can make maybe a Euro 3. Because Freca is the level, the price is too high at the moment for what you cannot have, you know.
Mm-hmm. And about F1 nowadays, how do you see like the drivers themselves, like the championship? Do you follow it closely?
Who's that?
The championship, like the drivers. Who do you think is gonna win? I mean, is George gonna make a comeback? Maybe Hamilton, or is Kimi gonna take the title?
You know, at the time of the year, it will be hard. It's hard. The things I don't like to see is how Fernando find the shit. What's happened to him? You know, because I know him a little bit. You know, so I'm unhappy of this situation for Fernando.
You're happy.
I'm very unhappy about this.
Oh, I'm happy.
I prefer Fernando have a good car and be in the front to fight. And who will win? I don't know. Yeah, maybe if Russell come back, it could be Russell, because it's not that far from the lead. And we have to see what's happened next race with Leclerc, because I think the Ferrari start to be better now. Maybe. We don't know. Very surprising victory of Hamilton, of course. We have to see. Yeah.
You said you knew Fernando?
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, because he was in the Hall of Fame when he won the championship. You know, the World Championship in sports car. Like me. Yeah.
Nice guy as well?
Yes, a nice guy. It's okay for you now?
Sorry?
It's okay for the question? It's okay?
Yeah, we can stop now if you want.
Okay.
That's good. Do you want to say anything just to end off a little bit?
To what?
Just to...
I say to you, good luck and have a good career in journalism.
Thank you.
Okay? Try to do your best and be happy about. But be careful about the driver. Sometimes they are a little bit nose up, you know.
They're a little bit what? Sorry?
Nose up.
Like arrogant.
Arrogant, yes. Okay. Some of them.
Okay, I won't ask you for names.
No, it's okay. Okay, my friend.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao.
Good luck to you as well.
Best. Good luck.
Bye.
Ciao.